PDN News Updates. Here is Bradley Bartonico from our PDN Newsroom. This is brought to you by our sponsor, KFC Guam.
Senators could oppose a U.S. Supreme Court review of the legal decisions that have stopped Guam's old abortion ban from being enforced. The question of whether to hire a lawyer to represent the Guam legislature in the case will be addressed by the Committee on Rules this Friday. Resolution 364-37 would allow up to $95,000 to be spent on an attorney. The Supreme Court of Guam in October ruled that Public Law 20-134, which criminalizes abortion, was unenforceable. Attorney General Douglas Moreland earlier this year asked the U.S. Supreme Court to review whether the Guam court is able to answer legal questions that the governor put to it directly. Since the start of this term, Moreland has wanted to dissolve a decades-old federal injunction so that the abortion ban can be enforced. In other news, mayors from the southern villages called on the Guam Department of Education to extend the timeframe allotted for deliberating and determining which schools will be decommissioned during a Tuesday night community briefing at Southern High School in Santa Rita. Nilaha Mayor Anthony Chargaloff Jr. requested an extension of GDOE's timeline for school closures to ensure a rational decision, which he said should be grounded on community feedback and suggestions. Chargaloff, at the Tuesday meeting, said the community will likely accept a decision to close schools only if they believe that GDOE has considered and exhausted all alternatives. Measures to expedite the spending of time-sensitive federal money and upspending on a new Department of Corrections prison by $10 million a year will be up for review at the April session of the Guam legislature. Lawmakers won't address whether to expand the rights for residents to defend themselves with deadly force to just outside their homes, or a bill to end discrimination in the workplace against employees who use cannabis. A bill to require mandatory island-wide trash collection will also be on the agenda for the fourth time since January. Senator Joe San Augustine's Bill 234-37 will increase annual funding for construction of a new Department of Corrections facility from $5 million to $15 million to keep up with rising construction costs. In other news, the Guam Ancestral Lands Commission wants extra monthly cash guarantee as it negotiates out a deal with developer Northern Market LLC to keep plans for a multi-million-dollar Deredo shopping center alive. Ancestral Lands last month agreed to work out a deal with the developer, which owes $1.85 million in back rent to the agency for 13 acres of property across the street from the Guam Regional Medical City. In exchange for a deferral on its monthly rent of $27,854, Northern Market officials plan to cut Ancestral Lands in on 50% of the venture's net profits. The developer wants to defer rent and arrears payment until construction, which will take approximately 3 years, is finished. For more on these stories, go to guampdn.com and follow us on social media.